Hi everyone, we are going to carry on with our DT from this week. So as I'm sure you already know by now, we are hoping to make a toy car, which is very exciting, using some of the materials that you have got at home. And yesterday we started thinking about our axles and our wheels. Okay, so we were saying that wheels are really important on a car and their job is to help move the vehicle. Okay, so hopefully you found a nice, smooth and curved object that you could use for your wheels so they could turn correctly. And here are some of the objects you might have found at home. Okay, so you might have used some straws, some lollipop sticks, pencils, skewers. I use paintbrushes, whatever you can find that you can use as the axle, so this main rod here going through it. And then some different objects that you had for your wheels. You might have found bottle caps, you might have found glue stick lids, scrunched up foil, CDs, anything that you can attach to the axles. And then we also started thinking about attaching the washers on as well. So I can tell from some of the work that you've sent me, lots of you have had a little go at making the wheels and the axles and trying to have a go at making sure that they work. And some of you hit a few problems. So I know that a few people found out from doing this that they had to make sure that the wheel wasn't stuck to the axle, otherwise the wheels weren't going to spin. Okay, and some other people found that the wheels, the hole in the middle was too big, so the axle wasn't helping turn the wheels. So have a little think about moving forward what you need to do to make sure that your model can actually move. All right, you might want to spend some time as well now thinking about using different resources as well on your toy car when we come to make the whole model. So these stages now, these lessons this week are all about exploring how we're making our models. This isn't going to be our final model, because when people design and make things, they have lots of different stages of designing before they get to making the real thing. So that the first time around that they do it, if it doesn't right, then they improve it. Second time around, they might find something else doesn't work, then they improve it again. So that's similar to what we're going to be doing over the next few sessions. So don't worry if yesterday didn't go very well or according to plan. As long as you know what worked and what didn't work and why, then we can move forward and help improve your models. So following on from yesterday, looking at wheels, today we're going to explore making a chassis. Okay, so here I've got some models and I'm just going to talk through them with you. So as you can see here in this top corner that I'm circling, the wheels and the axles have been attached to the models at the front and at the back, which is what we did yesterday. But today we're going to explore making a chassis, and the chassis is the frame of the structure of the body of the car. So here, the chassis has been made out of a toilet roll tube or a kitchen roll tube. So if you've got toilet roll tubes or kitchen roll tubes at home, they would be great to have a go at exploring and seeing if you can use that for your chassis. If I remove those yellow lines, you'll be able to see here that they have attached the axle through the middle of the tube. Okay, so that's maybe one way that you could join your objects together. Here in the middle, I've got a Coca-Cola can. So you might have some cans at home that you can use for the chassis or the body of your car. So here the wheels and the axle have been threaded through, and I think it looks like they've used some sort of badges there for the wheels. So if you've got badges, that might be another good way. And they've threaded the axle through. Here we've got a plastic bottle, and we've got a plastic bottle and some bottle lids here where they've threaded it through for the wheels and axles. I like this one in the bottom corner. This is very creative, and they've used a lot of things that you should have at home. So they've got a cereal box for their chassis, as you can see here, so for the structure of the car. And then they've got the cocktail sticks down here for the axle. And then on the end, they've got their CDs for the wheels. And they've also, from what I can see, used bottle lids as the washers, so to hold the wheels in place. So if you've got some of those things at home, these might be ideas that you want to steal as for your design projects as well. This is another similar one down here using a cardboard boxes, but instead of using CDs as their wheels, they've got bottle lids as well. And then here I've got another one of a plastic bottle. So hopefully you'll be able to find some of these resources at home that you can use to make your chassis. So some of these things might include cereal boxes. So if you're eating any cereal boxes, or just some packaging. So when you're getting parcels delivered, you can use any cardboard that comes with it. Because don't forget, even if you've got a piece of card, you can still use sellotape to join those pieces of card together to have a go at making a chassis or a structure. Okay, we talked about and we saw there some cans. You might have seen some cans and some plastic bottles, and also toilet rolls or kitchen roll holders as well. So spend a few minutes now having a little think around your house at what you've got that you could use for the chassis. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing my screen now, and I'm going to show you what I have got and what I'm going to be using today for mine. So as you can see on the table behind me, I've got the wheels and the axles from yesterday's lesson I've put here. You can remember I had a go at doing this one first, where I had the cotton reels and then I had the elastic bands. I found that it didn't hold them in place very well on the pencil, so I'm not going to use this today as my wheels and axles. But like we said in DT, we try things, we practice things, so that was just a trial and it didn't really work for me. I've also got my wheels and my axles from yesterday. So if you remember, I used paintbrush as my axle. You might have skewers or pencils, and then I put cotton reels on that help turn the wheels. And I've got 2 of those. On my car, I want 4 wheels. So make sure you've got 4 wheels and 2 axles for your car. In terms of things that I've got for my chassis, I had a look around the classroom and saw what I could find. And I've got a little tub here that I could use. That could be the structure. I also found this big cardboard box. This was too big, but if I wanted to, I could cut it down and make it the right size. I've also got some sellotape. I could stick that on and use that for the base if I wanted to. I've got a smaller pot here, a smaller tub. So have a look, see if your mums and dads have got any tubs, plastic tubs you can use at home. I've got a smaller box here that I could use, which, as you'll know, keeps my paper clips in, but I could use that. It's the body of my car. I've got a tub here that I could use as well. You might use some cans instead of this, or some jam jars or sauce jars. I didn't have any of these in my classroom. I found this plastic container, but similar things that you might have at home are jars of sauces. You might even have glue sticks, because remember, your car doesn't have to be a particular size, it's your design. So you could use your glue stick as your chassis for your car, okay? So I'm going to have a little go now at trying to make my chassis for my car. Now remember, when we have a go at doing this, it doesn't always go well. So the first time might not be the right time, so I might need to practice it a few times. But that's okay, I've got a few resources to have a go at doing this with. So I've got my wheels and my axles, and I think the first thing I'm going to try and use for my chassis is going to be a glue stick. Okay, so I need to attach my glue stick onto here. If you've got elastic bands, you can attach them with elastic bands, but I'm going to use some tape that I've got today. I'm going to try and attach it with tape. You might need an adult to help you with this, because it can be a bit fiddly. I'm going to see if I can do this on my own without anybody holding it. Hopefully it will work and I don't have to call Mrs. Oxley in. So if I stick it in the middle, and I think it's quite important to keep it in central so that it's balanced. Otherwise, if I put it to one side, then it's not going to be balanced and there might be a bit of an off weight on either side. So I'm going to stick my glue stick as my axle down. This might be a bit fiddly. Looks like I might need a bit of tape for this, because I don't think just that one piece of tape is going to hold it. Let me check and get a bit more tape on it. So it's really important as well that your axle is attached really well to your chassis. Otherwise, if they fall off, then the whole structure won't be secure and it won't be tight. So that's another thing you might want to have a play around with. Right, so I've just about got that attached. I'm going to put one more bit of tape on to hold it in place. Otherwise, it might fall off from what I can see. Right, so I've wrapped that round, and you see how I've done that quite securely and tied that on. So that's at the top, and now I'm going to have a go at attaching it to the other part. Right, This is where it gets a bit fiddly, everyone. So I'm going to attach it like this, strap it down. Oh, you might need somebody to help you do this. Even I'm finding it a challenge. Ooh. Right, so we're getting there. Hopefully, when I try and wheel it in a minute like a car, it will work. Fingers crossed. I'm going to attach it here. Then I'm going to go round it as well. Hopefully I don't run out of tape. Great, right. That looks quite secure to me. So as you can see here, I've used my glue stick as my chassis, okay? Now, don't worry if you're thinking normally on cars, the axles aren't that long. I'm just improvising with what I've got at the moment here around me. So see what you can find as well. If I could find smaller paintbrushes, then I might try that later on in my design. So now's the big test. Will it roll? Shall we have a look? I'm going to move everything to the side. I'm going to try and roll it up and down my table. Fingers crossed. Ooh, not too bad. Hopefully you can see that. There we go. Once it stops going a bit, it moves back and forth. Great. So that's my model car, and I've had a go at doing that with one chassis. But what I might do, once I've finished this video, is instead of using the glue stick, I might take that off and have a go at using a bigger container as well, and seeing if it moves smoother or it moves slower, and which model is the best. So once you've had a go and an explore of doing that, please show me what you've done, because I might take some inspiration from your models as well. Okay, and don't forget there's all these pictures of different ones as well, and you might want to steal some ideas, because designers do take ideas from other people. Once you've had a go at designing your chassis and making it and exploring it at home, which hopefully you'll have lots of fun doing it, if you want a bit of an extension task, we've created this sheet as well for you. Okay, so here you can have a little explore of showing me the model that you have made. So if I was going to draw mine, I think what I would do is I'd draw it as if I could see on top of it. Okay, so I'm going to draw my paintbrushes as my axles here first. Then I'm going to draw my glue stick that I've used for the chassis along here. And also need to remember to draw my wheels on. Okay, don't worry too much about the colours. I'm just using what resources I have got. Once you've done that, then you can start writing underneath about what you have used. So I can say, I have used, because I'm using this sentence starter here, I have used a glue stick for the chassis. Now, chassis is spelled correctly up here for you to use. So I've used a glue stick for the chassis. I have used a paintbrush for the axle, and so on. Okay, so have a little go at doing that for me and see how you get on, and show me your design so I can see how you have done. But hopefully you'll have lots of fun doing this task. But remember, don't worry if it goes wrong, and don't worry if it doesn't work, because this is still a design process. So really, this is the time where you want it to go wrong and you want things to not work as well as the final design. Okay, good luck and have fun doing this task. Bye.